Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while, but today what I'm going to do is just a plain red nail with some iridescent glitter. So I'm using CJP Vamp for the red, an iridescent glitter mix which I made, CJP glass to cap it, and obviously the Liz Guild brush. I'm also using the CJP Ultra Adhesion Monomer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rather large bead, quite a wet bead as well. Obviously with the weather being so hot, everything is setting super fast. So I'm just going to use it more like paint rather than like trying to use it as an actual coloured acrylic. So as you can see, I placed the bead, waited a tiny second for it to start polymerizing a little bit, and then I'm just going to paint it down the nail. And I was finding it a little bit difficult, so what I actually decided to do was clean off my brush, and off camera I stuck it onto just a display tip which I have. So as you can see, I've now got it back onto a long thing so I can actually use it properly. So I'm then going to take another bigger bead as well, place that at the cuticle, making sure I get that nice and flush. And then I'm just going to swipe down into the existing product like a paint, just to make sure that that nail's nice and fully coveraged. Whilst I appreciate it is actually quite hard with this weather, you still obviously want to try and get that nice and thin, and you want to try and get that into almost the shape, like make sure your application is absolutely perfect so you haven't got so much filing to do. So then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the little iridescent glitter mix that I've made, just a clear with like a iridescent glitter inside, and I'm going to just do a plain simple trail down the nail. So the top half where the nail bed would be, I'm just doing a little swirl up into the cuticle, and then the rest that I'm going to do for the tip, I'm literally just going to put a thin layer over the tip just to make sure that it's nice and shiny. As you can see, everything is just going into pot today. Super hot where I am, even though I have aircon on and a fan pointing towards me, everything is just going against me. Everything is just setting super fast, and it's making my application look absolutely disgusting. But once you cap and once you file, you can refine that and you can make it look pretty again, as you will see towards the end of the video. So what I'm now going to do is just take a couple of big beads, and I'm just going to cap the entire nail. Usually I would wait obviously for the glitter to set, but as I've said, everything is setting super fast, and it is actually already set the glitter that I've just put on. So I'm going to take a nice big bead, pop that at the cuticle tip and the nail down. to let as much gravity happen as you can in this weather, and just patting and pressing into place. And then all I'm going to do is take another bead or another couple of beads and just fill the rest of the nail, making sure your structure's there, making sure you've got a nice shape. All I will say is, in this weather, obviously this is for a video, but if I was working on a client, what I would be doing is maybe using wetter beads, or maybe instead of trying to do a 1, 2, 3 ball method, I would potentially go on to 4, 5 ball methods, just so that the balls that I'm using are, like, I can work them a lot easier. So yeah, that's just a little tip there. You can also put your monomer in a dapping dish full of ice, a little container in the ice, monomer in the fridge. I've heard loads of different ways of doing it. My favourite thing is just to carry on as normal and just use slightly smaller beads, slightly wetter beads, and if the weather gets incredibly hot, then yes, I will put my monomer in the fridge, but as I'm doing a display tip, I didn't really feel the need to do this. Also, quickly, I know usually it's exactly the same, you make sure that your brush is nice and clean all the time, but in this weather, every single swipe that you do, I like to brush my brush off, dip it in the monomer, just to make sure there's no acrylic setting in your brush, because it's an absolute nightmare when you have chunks of set acrylic in your brush. So then obviously, now I've finished capping, I take a nice wet brush, clean it off, and then again I dip into my monomer, swirl it off into a nice pretty point, and then all I'm going to do is put the lid onto all of my acrylics, all of my monomer, everything that I've used, just so that once I'm filing, there's no filings going into my acrylic, contaminating my powders, contaminating my monomer, because there's nothing worse, and it just will affect the way that your acrylic sets. So we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, so as you can tell, all I've literally done is put the lids on my acrylic, clean my brush, and as you can see now, the nail was totally set, which is kind of a godsend in this weather if you're quite quick at acrylic application. But so I'm just taking my CJP files, just going to do sidewalls, cuticle area. I'm going to refine the shape, I'm going to contour the nail, you know, make it look nice and pretty. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my 3-stage buffer. One of the sides of my 3-stage buffer is actually ruined, so I'm just going to do a 2-stage, and then I have a 2-stage buffer which I use also as well, which is absolutely super fine. One of the super finest buffers that I've ever used, absolutely amazing. And then towards the end, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take, usually with a client I wouldn't do this, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a little bit of CJP hand and tool sanitizer onto where I've been cleaning my acrylic brush and everything. I'm just going to wipe that nail off, and I'm just going to then go on to top coat. As you see in a minute, I do actually break the swatch stick that I'm using, so it's a little bit awkward for me to file, but in this case all I would do is just glue it back on. But I thought for a video, do you know what, I'm just going to carry on, to pretend like nothing's happened and just carry on. But yeah, so I've turned it around and I believe this is where I break it, somewhere around here. But yeah, so I just glue it back on, but for the purpose of the video I didn't. So if you guys have any comments, anything you'd like to see me try and do, just let me know and I will try my best to do it. So I have been an acrylic and a gel nail tech for 8 years. I'm not super amazing. I mean, I'm not Liz Guild or Gemma Porsche or anything like that, but I am trying. I just thought, you know, I would like to help you guys in any way that I can. I don't like to leave my channel inactive, but obviously with work and everything, it's super hard to try and get things done every week. So if you guys have anything you want me to do for you, then yeah, let me know and I'll try my hardest, okay? So as you can see, I have just broken it, so this is what I was talking about. But yeah, so anyway, if you guys would like any design sets, structure videos, shaping and filing, I know there's a lot out there, but me coming in as a guy doing nails, maybe have a tiny bit of a different outlook on it as to how I do it. So yeah guys, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, love you, thank you for watching, bye.